Admiral Vex stood at the observation deck of the Valerian flagship Eternal Dawn, his four eyes fixed on the holographic display of Earth. The third planet of an unremarkable solar system shouldn't have commanded such attention from the galaxy's most advanced civilization. Yet here they were, an entire battle fleet positioned just beyond the range of human detection systems, watching. "High Commander, the analysis is complete," announced Science Officer Lyra, her crystalline form shifting colors with each word. "The humans have achieved in 50 years what took other species millennia. Their rate of technological advancement is unprecedented." Vex's outer membrane rippled with concern. When the Valerian Empire first detected radio signals from Earth, they had expected to find another primitive species struggling to understand basic particle physics. Instead, they discovered a civilization that had gone from first flight to quantum computing in less than 2 centuries. "Show me the projection models," Vex commanded, his voice resonating through the chamber's neural interfaces. The holographic display shifted, presenting a time-lapse simulation of human technological progress. The data streams painted a picture that made even the ancient Valerian uncomfortable. "At current rates, they will achieve Class IV civilization status within 3 generations," Lyra continued. "No species in recorded history has ever evolved so quickly." "Yes," Vex completed her thought. "And that's precisely what concerns the High Council." The simulation continued its relentless march forward, showing humanity's potential future achievements. Mastery of dark energy, manipulation of space-time, and eventually, technologies that even the Valerians hadn't developed in their million-year history. "Their adaptability defies all known evolutionary models," Lyra observed. "When faced with obstacles, they don't just overcome them, they transform them into advantages. The recent lunar accident is a perfect example." Vex knew what she meant. 3 months ago, a human mining facility on their moon had suffered a catastrophic containment failure. Instead of abandoning the project, they had somehow modified the very disaster into a new form of fusion containment. It was this incident that had finally prompted the High Council to act. "Bring up the genetic analysis," Vex ordered. The display shifted again, showing the complex double helix of human DNA. Unlike the elegant, stable structures of most sentient species, human DNA showed signs of constant micro-mutations, an endless dance of adaptation. "Their neural plasticity is off the charts," Lyra explained, her crystalline form pulsing with excitement despite the gravity of their situation. "They don't just learn, they rewrite their own neural pathways. Every human generation is literally more capable than the last." Vex moved closer to the hologram, studying the busy planet below. Cities glowed like neural networks across the dark side of Earth, a testament to humanity's relentless expansion. And their population? 8 billion and growing. Each one a potential innovator, a possible genius. Their diversity. Lyra paused, searching for the right words. "It's their greatest strength and our biggest concern. They don't think alike, don't solve problems the same way. It makes them unpredictable." "And dangerous," Vex added quietly. He had reviewed the reports of human warfare, their ability to turn anything, absolutely anything, into a weapon. A species that could weaponize their own bacterial infections was not one to be underestimated. The chamber fell silent as Vex contemplated the High Council's options. Standard protocol for potentially dangerous species was clear: containment or elimination. But humans had already spread to Mars and beyond. Their quantum communications network spanned their entire solar system. Containment would be challenging, elimination nearly impossible without destroying half the sector. "Sir," Lyra's voice cut through his thoughts, "we're detecting unusual energy signatures from Earth. They're different from anything we've seen before." The holographic display flickered, showing waves of unknown energy emanating from multiple points on the planet's surface. Vex felt his secondary heart skip a beat. The humans couldn't have detected them. Their stealth technology was perfect. "Analysis," he demanded. "It's not directed at us," Lyra responded, her crystalline form shifting to a deep blue of confusion. The energy patterns appear to be folding inward, as if they're trying to. The display suddenly flared with alerts. Across Earth, cities began going dark. Not in panic or chaos, but in perfect, coordinated sequence. Communication satellites fell silent. Power grids shut down in carefully orchestrated patterns. Impossible, Lyra whispered. They're doing it deliberately. But why would they? Vex felt a chill run through his membrane. In all his centuries of service, he had never seen anything like this. The humans weren't running or hiding. They were doing something else entirely, something no one in the galaxy had ever attempted. Send word to the High Council, he ordered, his voice tight with urgency. Tell them Earth has gone silent. And tell them, he paused, watching as the last lights on the planet below winked out. Tell them I don't think this is surrender. This is just the beginning. 3 months after Earth's disappearance, the galaxy was in chaos. The Galactic Council chamber on Centauri Prime buzzed with the anxious energy of 200 species representatives, each demanding answers that no one seemed to have. Grand Arbiter Xena of the Valerian Empire stood at the center of the chamber, her crystalline form radiating authority despite the mounting pressure. The holographic displays surrounding her showed the same baffling data that had haunted their best scientists for weeks. The humans didn't just disappear, she explained, her voice cutting through the chamber's chaos. They orchestrated the most sophisticated mass disappearance in galactic history. Every colony, every outpost, every single human vessel vanished simultaneously across 50 light-years of space. The Mercian representative, a feline being named Ketel, rose from his seat. Impossible. No species has the technology to coordinate such an action across light years without quantum communications networks, and we were monitoring all known frequencies. Precisely, Xena replied. They used something we couldn't detect because we didn't know it existed. Admiral Vex's fleet recorded energy signatures, unlike anything in our databases before the disappearance. The chamber's displays shifted, showing the final moments before Earth went dark. The energy patterns danced across the screens like living things, folding space in ways that defied conventional physics. What we're dealing with, Xena continued, is not just a disappearance. It's an evolution. The humans didn't run. They transcended. The hive mind of the Tull collective buzzed with disagreement. Transcendence requires centuries of preparation. The humans were barely a Class I civilization. By our standards, Admiral Vex stepped forward, his arrival silencing the chamber. But we've been measuring them wrong from the start. While we advance through careful, methodical progress, the humans. He paused, his outer membrane rippling with something almost like admiration. They take shortcuts. They break rules we thought were unbreakable. The holographic display shifted again, showing a series of human technological leaps that had puzzled Valerian scientists for years. The development of quantum tunneling without first mastering quantum field theory. The creation of artificial gravity through what seemed like accidental discoveries in dark matter research. 3 days ago, Vex announced, "We detected this." The display changed to show a distant sector of space, seemingly empty except for a brief flicker, a shadow where no shadow should exist. That flicker lasted less than a nanosecond, Xena explained. But in that moment, we recorded energy readings identical to those seen before Earth's disappearance. The chamber erupted in worried murmurs. Tull's fur stood on end. They're still out there, watching us. More than watching, Vex replied. We've detected similar anomalies in 17 different sectors, always brief, always near critical infrastructure or military installations. They're gathering intelligence. A heavy silence fell over the chamber as the implications sank in. The humans hadn't fled in fear. They had executed a strategic withdrawal to prepare for something bigger. There's more. Xena's voice had grown quieter, but somehow more urgent. We've begun detecting quantum irregularities in our own systems. Small things at first, odd data patterns, unexpected power fluctuations, but they're increasing in frequency and complexity. The tactile hive mind pulsed with alarm. They've infiltrated our networks. Impossible. Our quantum encryption is based on principles they've apparently moved beyond. Vex interrupted. We thought we were containing a potential threat. Instead, we gave them time to perfect whatever technology they were developing. The chamber's displays suddenly flickered, static dancing across every screen. For a moment, a pattern emerged in the chaos, something that looked almost like human writing before it vanished. They're not just gathering intelligence, Zena concluded, her crystalline form darkening with concern. They're preparing for something. The question is, are they preparing to strike, or to save us from something worse? The answer came sooner than anyone expected. As if triggered by Zena's words, every display in the chamber suddenly blazed to life with new data. Streams of information poured through their networks. Star charts, energy readings, and what appeared to be warnings, all encoded in a hybrid of human and galactic standard languages. By the first light, Vex breathed, his membrane nearly transparent with shock. They're not attacking. They're trying to show us something. The data resolved into a massive star map, highlighting a pattern that had been invisible to their traditional sensors. Something vast was moving through the galaxy, hidden in the quantum foam of space itself. Something ancient, something hungry. And the humans, it seemed, had found a way to see it. Now we know, Zena whispered, her crystalline form pulsing with a mix of fear and wonder. They didn't go silent to hide from us. They went silent to hide from that. As the council chamber erupted into frenzied activity, a single line of human text appeared briefly across every screen. We'll be in touch. Get ready. The game had changed. The humans hadn't disappeared. They had evolved into humanity's final form, and now, it seemed, they were offering the galaxy a chance to evolve with them. Science Officer Lyra's research vessel, the Quantum Seeker, drifted through the debris field of what had once been a human mining outpost near Saturn. 6 months had passed since Earth's disappearance, and each discovery raised more questions than answers. Another quantum echo, her assistant Meta announced, his mechanical form processing data faster than any organic being could. Same signature as the others, but this one's different. Lyra moved her crystalline form closer to the sensor arrays. The energy pattern did look different, more structured, almost like a message written in quantum fluctuations. Record everything. Cross-reference with the patterns we found in the Mars colonies. The humans had left breadcrumbs everywhere, she realized. Not accidents or oversights, but deliberate traces, like a trail of cosmic breadcrumbs leading. Somewhere. Captain, a voice called from the navigation station. We're detecting unusual gravitational distortions ahead. They match the theoretical models for human quantum folding technology. Lyra felt her crystalline matrix vibrate with excitement. For months, they'd been chasing shadows, trying to understand how an entire species could simply step sideways out of reality. Now, finally, they had something concrete. Take us in, she ordered. Full sensor sweep. I want to know everything about that distortion. The Quantum Seeker glided forward, its advanced sensors probing the fabric of space itself. As they drew closer, the distortion revealed itself to be more than just a gravitational anomaly. It was a tear in reality, but unlike anything their physics had predicted possible. Ma'am, Meta's voice carried an unusual note of awe. I'm detecting traces of human quantum computing signatures. But the complexity, it's orders of magnitude beyond anything they should have been capable of. Lyra studied the readings herself. The humans hadn't just advanced their technology. They'd completely reimagined the fundamentals of quantum mechanics. Where other species saw immutable laws of physics, humans had apparently seen suggestions. They were preparing for this long before we detected them, she realized aloud. Every technological leap, every accidental discovery, it was all leading to this moment. A sudden alert drew their attention. The tear in space was changing. Patterns emerged in the quantum foam, forming what looked like a message written in the structure of reality itself. "Translation incoming," Meta announced. It's an equation. No, multiple equations. They're showing us how they did it." Lyra's form pulsed with surprise. The humans weren't just leaving clues, they were teaching. Showing their work like professors helping struggling students grasp a complex concept. "They want us to follow them," she whispered. "But why? Why show us their greatest technological achievement?" The answer came in the form of more data, pouring through the tear in space. Images, sensor readings, and mathematical proofs, all pointing to something massive moving through the galaxy. Something that existed primarily in quantum states, almost impossible to detect with conventional technology. "Cross-reference these readings with all known species and phenomena," Lyra ordered, her scientific curiosity overriding her caution. Meta processed the data for several moments before responding. "No matches in any database. But there are references in ancient myths. Stories of worlds that simply ceased to exist, of entire civilizations that vanished without trace." "Not without trace," Lyra corrected, her crystalline form darkening with realization. "Without quantum trace. Whatever this thing is, it doesn't just destroy civilizations. It erases them from the quantum fabric of reality itself." More data streamed through the tear, showing how the humans had first detected the threat. They had noticed patterns in quantum noise that everyone else dismissed as background radiation. Where others saw random fluctuations, they had seen purpose, predatory purpose. "They didn't run," Meta concluded. "They evolved. Found a way to exist in the same quantum states as this entity. But why not just warn us directly?" Lyra studied the complex equations the humans had left behind. "Because we wouldn't have believed them. We needed to see it for ourselves, to follow their path and understand not just what they discovered, but how they discovered it." A new message formed in the quantum foam. "Level 1 complete. Proceed to coordinates attached. Time is not on our side." "They're testing us," Lyra realized, "making sure we can grasp the concepts before showing us more. Classic teaching methodology, just on a cosmic scale." The quantum seeker's engines hummed to life as they prepared to jump to the provided coordinates. Whatever the humans were preparing for, they wanted allies who understood, not just followers who obeyed. As they engaged their quantum drive, Lyra couldn't help but admire the elegance of it all. The humans had turned their greatest weakness, their constant need to explain and teach and share, into their greatest strength. They weren't just trying to save the galaxy, they were trying to help it evolve. "Set course for the next marker," she ordered. "It's time we learned what humanity has been trying to teach us." Admiral Vex stood in stunned silence as the quantum seeker's findings were presented to the Emergency Council. The chamber's holographic displays showed mathematical proofs and quantum equations that challenged everything they thought they knew about reality. "You're certain these equations are correct?" Grand Arbiter Zena asked, her crystalline form shifting through shades of deep blue as she processed the implications. "We'd verify them across multiple quantum computing arrays," Science Officer Lyra confirmed. "The humans didn't just discover a new layer of reality. They found a way to exist within it. They've become quantum observers." The implications were staggering. Humanity hadn't disappeared. They had evolved into a state of quantum superposition, existing simultaneously everywhere and nowhere. They could observe reality from outside conventional spacetime. "Show them what we found in the Arcturus sector," Lyra commanded. The display shifted to show what appeared to be empty space, but as the quantum filters engaged, something massive became visible, a void in reality itself, moving with purpose. "The ancient hunger," Vex whispered, finally understanding. "The humans found it because they were looking in ways we never thought to try. Where we saw random quantum fluctuations, they saw its feeding patterns." The displays showed historical data, civilizations that had vanished without trace, regions of space that seemed emptier than they should be. The humans had pieced it together, realizing that something was systematically erasing advanced civilizations from reality itself. Their quantum transformation wasn't just about survival, Lyra explained. They needed to exist in a state that would allow them to fight this thing on its own level. But they also needed us to understand, to evolve with them. New data streamed across the displays. The quantum breadcrumbs humanity had left behind were more than clues. They were instructions, a step-by-step guide to achieving what humans had already accomplished. They're not just teaching us the math, Xena realized. They're teaching us to think like them, to see patterns in chaos, to question fundamental assumptions about reality itself. A sudden alert drew everyone's attention. The quantum sensors were detecting something new, a massive distortion in space-time, approaching from the direction of former Earth space. But this wasn't the ancient hunger. This pattern was organized, deliberate. The chamber's quantum communications array activated without command, and a voice spoke, the first direct human communication since their disappearance. "We see you've been following our trail," the voice said, somehow both singular and plural, as if spoken by one person and many simultaneously. "You're ready for the next step. Are you prepared to see reality as we now see it?" Before anyone could respond, the chamber's quantum field shifted. For a brief moment, every being present experienced reality as the humans now did. They saw the layered nature of existence, the quantum strings that connected all things, and the dark void that threatened to consume it all. When the vision ended, there wasn't a dry eye or stable crystalline form in the chamber. They had glimpsed what humanity had become, and what they offered to share. "The ancient hunger approaches a populated sector," the human voice continued. "We can fight it, but not alone. What we've become is only half the solution. We need your unique perspectives, your different ways of thinking, to complete the pattern." Vex stepped forward, his membrane rippling with determination. "You could have simply told us about this threat from the beginning. Why the elaborate quantum breadcrumb trail?" A sound like multiple people chuckling came through the quantum field. "Would you have believed us? Sometimes the only way to understand a truth is to discover it yourself. We needed you to follow our path, to understand not just what we found, but how we found it." The displays showed new data, the complete process of quantum transformation that humanity had undergone. But it wasn't a single solution. It was thousands of potential approaches, each tailored to different species' unique biology and psychology. "We didn't disappear to hide," the voice explained. "We disappeared to evolve, to become what was needed. And now we're offering you the same choice. The ancient hunger can be fought, but only if we face it together, each species contributing its unique perspective to the quantum defense." Xena's crystalline form pulsed with understanding. "You're not just offering us survival. You're offering us transcendence." "Better," the voice replied. "We're offering you partnership. Humanity has always been at its best when working with others, combining different viewpoints to see the whole picture. The quantum realm is vast, and no single species can comprehend it all. But together..." The voice trailed off as new quantum signatures appeared on the displays. The ancient hunger was accelerating, approaching faster than ever before. Time was running out. "Make your choice," the human voice said. "We can show you the way, but you must choose to take the step. Will you evolve with us?" The quantum realm rippled with activity as thousands of civilizations made their choice. Species after species followed humanity's carefully laid path to transcendence, each bringing their unique perspective to the collective quantum consciousness. But the ancient hunger was closing in, its void-like presence consuming light-years of space with each passing moment. Admiral Vex, now existing partially in quantum state, watched as the Valerian fleet underwent its transformation. Their crystalline technology had made the transition easier than expected, allowing them to perceive multiple layers of reality simultaneously. Across the galaxy, other species were achieving similar transformations, each in their own unique way. "The hunger approaches the Orion Spur," Science Officer Lyra's quantum voice resonated through the collective consciousness. 3 billion sentients in its path. A familiar human presence made itself known. Not a single voice now, but a harmony of consciousness that represented Earth's quantum-shifted population. Then it's time to show you why we needed everyone's help for this fight. The quantum realm lit up with human consciousness, showing patterns that even their transformed allies struggled to comprehend. Humanity had spent their months of silence, not just hiding, but planning, weaving a complex web of quantum relationships through the fabric of space itself. Every species perceives quantum reality differently. The human collective explained. The hive minds see quantum entanglement as a dance of symmetries. The crystallines perceive it as resonating harmonics. We humans, we see it as stories, each quantum possibility a different narrative thread. Understanding dawned across the collective consciousness. No single perspective could fully comprehend the quantum realm, but together they could see it all: the mathematics, the patterns, the harmonies, and the stories, all interconnected. The ancient hunger feeds on singular perspectives. A tactile voice hums through the quantum field. It finds the gaps in each species' understanding and exploits them. That's why isolated civilizations fall to it so easily. The human collective pulsed with approval. Exactly. But it has never faced a unified galaxy, each species contributing its unique way of perceiving and manipulating quantum reality. The void of the ancient hunger appeared in their shared quantum vision, massive beyond comprehension, a cancer in the fabric of reality itself. But now they could see it properly, understand its nature through multiple perspectives simultaneously. As the ancient hunger approached, reality itself began to shift. Every species contributed to the defense in their own way. The crystallines established quantum resonance patterns that reinforced spacetime. The hive minds created synchronized quantum processing networks. And humanity did what they did best. They improvised, adapted, and found patterns no one else could see. The ancient hunger struck, its void-like presence attempting to erase entire star systems from reality. But this time, something was different. Every possibility it tried to consume was instantly replaced by 1,000 more, generated by the combined creative potential of thousands of species working in quantum harmony. Now, the human collective called, and every species acted as one. The quantum realm exploded with activity. The void of the ancient hunger was surrounded, not by military might or technological power, but by pure potential, endless possibilities generated faster than they could be consumed. The creature that had fed on quantum potential for eons found itself overwhelmed by more possibilities than it could process. Reality shuddered as the ancient hunger recoiled, its void-like presence contracting in on itself. For the first time in its existence, it faced something it couldn't consume: the combined creative potential of an entire galaxy working in harmony. As the ancient entity retreated, fleeing from the overwhelming flood of possibilities, the quantum realm resonated with the collective consciousness of thousands of species. They had done more than defeat a threat. They had evolved beyond their individual limitations. And this, the human collective hummed with satisfaction, is just the beginning. Together, we can explore the quantum realm in ways none of us could have imagined alone. Admiral Vex's quantum consciousness expanded with understanding. Humanity hadn't just saved the galaxy, they had transformed it. By teaching others to see reality through multiple perspectives, they had created something entirely new. A civilization that existed not just in physical space, but in the endless realm of quantum possibility. As the gathered species began exploring their new shared reality, Earth slowly shifted back into normal space, its cities lighting up one by one. But it was different now, not just a single planet, but a nexus of quantum potential, a beacon showing the way to a future where diversity of perspective wasn't just an ideal, but the very foundation of existence itself. The silence was broken, but the universe would never be the same. And somewhere in the quantum realm, humanity smiled, knowing that their greatest achievement hadn't been transcending reality. It had been showing others how to transcend with them.